We dissect the top trending stories of the day, more well-informed and intelligent analysis. On Spotlight today, yes, I will look ahead of 2027, PDP crisis, and the 2027 agenda. Some governors are right now at lockerheads, elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, appear to be 27 presidential election. A scenario reminiscent of what played out in 2023 and also arguably contributed to the party's electoral failures. I'm talking to you right now. Many of these governors are rumored to be building bridges with the ruling man who has the bold chest. Came out, Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno, has openly declared support for President Bola Tinubu's second term bid. Well, in a major realignment also of political forces ahead of this 2027 general election too, 3 or 4 governors also of the People's Democratic Party, as I'm talking to you right now, there were rumors that they are set to defect to the ruling All Progressive Congress and support the second term, second push of President Bola Tinubu. And now joining me live to look at this issue is a former senior special assistant to the national chairman of PDP. We have Olami Goke Ogayemi. Good morning, Mr. Ogayemi.
Good morning, Super FM. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, we also have a man who says it all just like it is, who's joining us right here from Ogun State. Okay, let's see where we get connected to him. Definitely, you will hear from him also. That's a former ADC chairman of Ogun State and also the ex-IPAC publicity secretary in Ogun State. All right, that's Mr. Itunu Temitayo Abioro. Mr. Itunu, good morning and welcome to the show. Oh, okay. That's why the show is on. We'll try and get connected to him. Okay, Mr. Lamigoke, Mr. Ogayemi, the way it is right now, it seems to be like PDP governors at a local head. And it seems to be like there's a coach. And this coach is not a person than the former governor of Rivers State, Wike. It seems to be the coach right now. Do you agree with this?
Well, once again, good morning, Nigerians. I would say when you find someone that is constantly investing in the party, is constantly getting results, is constantly at the ends of affair of a political party, you might want to consider such person as the coach. But of course, you know how political system works in Nigeria. We have organs of the party. We have the NWC, we have the BOT, and we have other relevant organs of the party. And obviously, this one man you mentioned,
but they're not even looking. But the BOT, they're not even looking relevant as it is right now.
Well, that is as a result of the incompetence of those people, those individuals that are occupying those positions. I feel in a certain way that the conscience of the party, the BOT, has been compromised, and it is so unfortunate that they are not, standing, in line with their responsibilities and how they should act according to the constitution of the party.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I don't know if we have Mr. Itunu Temitayo. Do we have you now? Good morning, Mr. Itunu.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be online.
All right, thank you very much. We also have here in the studio right here, former senior special assistant to the national chairman of PDP, Olamigoke Ogayemi, right here also. We'll be talking more about this crisis in PDP and the 2027 agenda. Do you agree that PDP is in crisis? Let me come to you, Mr. Ogayemi, and then I'll come to you, Mr. Itunu. Do you agree that PDP is in crisis?
I totally agree with you.
Because
no doubt about that.
I mean, we spoke to the governorship candidate for XDP, a former governorship candidate for XDP, and he was saying, "Oh, PDP are not in crisis right now. You don't call it crisis." But we can hear from you also, a politician and also someone in the system in PDP. So that's settled for that. Mr. Ituno, are you there? Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, I'm still here. Good morning, and I like the take the honourable man in the studio has taken. Yes, in fact, it's not only just PDP that is in crisis. Nearly every single political party that you can name has one form, shape of crisis.
Even the APC
at this point in time. Every single party you can think of has, at varying degrees, stages of crisis across board.
Okay, well, let's listen to the voice of the man. I said he seems to be the coach right now. Earlier, before you joined, Mr. Ituno, I started up with what the drama and the words of former governor of River State, and Nyesom Wike, on his comments concerning the coalition and the drama going on in PDP. But let's hear from the man himself, and then we'll come back and talk more.
On the other part of those who are looking for is selfish interest. The likes of Atiku and all other people. Which coalition with who? Why not come into the Paya party? Everybody wants to be president of the country. Nobody wants to say, look, let me build our party. So that at the end of the day, our party will be in a formidable position as an opposition party to take over power. You don't do that. Only what you want is, let me find a way how I will be the one. If that does not happen, to attempt Israel, and you make the mistake yesterday, you want to repeat the mistake today, tomorrow you make the same mistake. And then you come out to say, we were rigged out. Who rigged you out? You have already rigged yourself by causing crisis. And this is what I've always said. Like, because people are not sincere to themselves. And people like me will not accept that. So the issue of coalition or these other people, they are not sincere. The issue of want to be alone, you're also not sincere. Because you have not shown that you want to be alone. You have not shown the seriousness that you want cohesion in the party.
That's the voice of the former governor of River State, Nyesom Wike. Let's also hear him out also in terms of this matter happening in the PDP.
For you to say, I want to lead the opposition party to go to Eldorado, it's not by mouth. You have to lose a lot of things. It's not just coming out on national television. We, PDP, who are we, PDP? Who is that person that's committed to lead this war? Now, all you see, everybody's putting himself just to be a presidential candidate, not just to win election. You have said Eno. Governor of Akwa Ibom, that's what you say. You said so. That he has endorsed the president. A key state endorsed president. Not only Eno. You saw the governor of Delta State. He said, I am supporting Mr. President for good governance, not for politics. A key state. So where's the opposition?
Lagos, yes, Super FM 92.7. Let's talk. That's the show. And don't forget, you can be part of this conversation right here on Spotlight on Super FM 92.7. Just send us a message on WhatsApp 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. Or callers on 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711. Or the other lines on 0802 978 8003. 0802 978 8003. Mr. Ituno, let me come to you right now. You had the voice of Wike right there. Said so much, talking about, the PDP talking about where is PDP, who is PDP, everybody wants to be the president. What's your reaction to that first? And then we'll go to other details of this conversation.
Okay. So when I was talking earlier on, I said every single party is in crisis in one way, shape, or form. And former Governor Wike, Minister Wike, his words just proved the what I was trying to talk about. You see, again, some of these things, agreeing with what the honorable man in the studio said, could have been that there's crisis in PDP could have been avoided, particularly in the last election, had some certain things gone the way it was supposed to go. Now, unfortunately, that has gone and come, and the ripple effects of those ones are still what we are dealing with. Now, what has happened across all the other political parties is that in the mad dash for who do we coalesce with? Because again, you have to remember that most political parties lack capacity to fund themselves because they don't have a governor who usually picks up the heavy duty bill.
This crisis right now, this quagmire right now, it's all about funding.
Opposition political party running. The man in the studio, he can attest what I'm saying, is largely dependent on who is funding it.
Mr. Agayemi, do you agree? Is this all about funding?
It's part of it. It's part of it, and I will agree to that.
It's about who is funding it, and unfortunately, the PDP at the 2023 election failed to recognize something that every blind person knows, which is that you don't joke with the oil-producing states. You give them their due, and you manage how you manage them anyhow you can manage them. And an article Wike ticket was what every Nigerian was expecting the last time out, only for and. Again, you have to understand that these are people who have funded the party. I tell people, as a former state chairman of a party myself, I tell people there are three categories of people who are in a political party. The people who own the party, the people who direct the day-to-day affairs of the party, and party members generally. Now, the people who own the party are the people who fund the party, because without funding and direction, there's no such thing as a party. Now, it is these governors who pick up the bill, one way, shape, or form. And governors like Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Delta, these are places where you want to have them around you, funding your political movement or political party. And then you have however PDP did its last election cycle, found a way to piss off the entire South, which is their strongest base, and still managed to, I don't know how they did it, but long story short, they've done it, and that has created what we currently are dealing with in PDP. But as I was saying about other political parties, is because of a relatively unstable PDP, the ripple effect is that even these supposed smaller parties are now are also not able to build like in 2019 when they had this CUPP agenda and it was almost clear what their agenda and goals were. Now nobody knows who is funding who, nobody knows who is directing what. Everybody is just acting based on impulse for their own self-determination and self-interest, and unfortunately it is creating a situation where even the most seasoned of politicians who is not in government mainstream right now is going to start talking like a confused person if you actually start to ask them relevant questions.
All right, thank you very much. Let me come to Mr. Alamigo Ogayemi here. Where is PDP right now? And it seems to be like one man is PDP. That's talking about Wike. I don't know if also Atiku will also agree that it's PDP, but where is PDP as it is right now?
I want to believe with all that is happening within the PDP. Okay. PDP, I want to borrow the words of Honorable Patrick of Edo State. We say PDP is in a state of dismal plasma. That is exactly where PDP is at the moment. Because you find the Wike faction, the Wike bloc, and the Atiku bloc. Those are the two major blocks in the party.
What about the governors bloc? Because it seems to be like some governors are also trying to put their...
Whether you like it or not, you can divide the governors along those two those two lines, and you find the PDP members, the genuine members, that actually they have the spirit of opposition. They are fighting to get the party back on track. But what can we see? We are seeing a PDP where, like just my uncle just said, you find a situation whereby we have the principal, we have the financier, and we have other members. You cannot, just step aside the financier. It's just like someone going to the market. You have a group of people that have said, okay, let's buy a turkey and come home and prepare. You get to the market, someone has dropped this vehicle. These are very good for you to go to the market, fueled the vehicle, dropped some cash, bought knife, got hot water and all of that. And at the end of the day, you say he cannot make the food. He can't prepare the food. And he's asking, okay, give me the head of the turkey. Give me the lap. Give me the chest. You are saying no. Okay, what do you want me to do? Okay, give me rice. You are saying no rice. Okay, what do you want me to do at the end of the day? And that's the situation we are finding ourselves. Now, if PDP is moving into a coalition, we want to understand, because the narrative some blocks within the PDP is trying to, to create is a replica of what happened in 2013 with the APC. But we keep forgetting that what APC did was not actually a coalition. What they did was to form another political party, where you find that the CPC bloc, the AMPP bloc, and the ACM bloc, they had to deregister their party. And because of that single reason, that was what helped them into the 2015 election. Now, you are finding, because even literally, if you check the meaning of coalition, the coalition is the coming together of two individuals or groups temporarily to achieve a common goal. So now, just like people like Governor Makinde has said, we have to put our house in order first before we aim for coalition. And a simple example was the case of Governor Makinde in 2019. Because I was fortunate to be very active in the system then. We got a report which said the only way PDP could win Oyo State was through a coalition.
Which it did.
And you find out that the same set of people that left the PDP because Governor Makinde was posed to win that ticket in the primaries, the same set of people, and I'm talking about Senator Rashid Ladoja, I'm talking about the likes of Senator Lanley and the rest. They were the same set of people that left around 2017 thereabout. Governor Makinde was in a roundtable discussion with them for hours in Ibadan, making sure that coalition saw the light of the day. And at the end of the day, what happened? PDP won Oyo State.
Even though there were also, that led to their fight. I think that led to their fight with the deputy governor.
At the end of the day, after he won. So those are the ways we should. If PDP has not placed his house in order in Oyo State, those kind of success, we cannot talk about them today. And that is the way we must project ourselves. But unfortunately, we can see that the party itself, we don't have a grip over ourselves. And it is because someone cannot be with the sword and you have another person with the stick, and someone is saying, let's go for war. Who would you go with? You will go with the person with the sword. And that is what is happening in PDP. Whether you like it or not, by the time it's time for the next national convention, you will still find the same pattern coming out. Because whether you like it or not, we cannot throw away money when it comes to politics in Nigeria. And there are people with this money chest. They are ready to spend it. And those are the likes of Nyesom Wike. These are people that have fought the system. They fought the likes of Sheriff and Co. in the past. They fought the past administration with a lot of money in the system. And there are testaments to that all over the country as far as PDP is concerned. So you cannot come and say you want to do away with people like that if you are not coming with the same energy with which these people, this kind of people, and I'm talking about people like Nyesom Wike has.
But some will say he is being greedy, or some will say there's an atom of greed in PDP system. Do you attest to that?
Okay, so would you invest in something and don't want to reap from it? It's not possible. It's not possible. It is give and take. The more you give, the more you want to take. That is what politics is about. You cannot invest in a structure and you expect that someone comes in and throw it away and you just relax. Because whether you like it or not, it's not even only about Wike. He has his followers too that are also that they have programmed themselves over the years in the PDP system. So you can't throw such people away. And whether you like it or not, you can see the weight this man is throwing around all over the country.
Because it's in the federal system right
Because
now.
it's in the federal system. So you cannot throw some of those factors away. So if you are looking at rebuilding the party itself, we have to be sincere with ourselves. The party has to come together, find a common ground, negotiate, lobby this man, and do sort of things to make sure he's on board. You can imagine a PDP in 2025 with Nyesom Wike fully active under the PDP. I can imagine the trauma will be giving the ruling party. But who is spending the money in PDP?
With the way you were sounding, from the tune of your voice, I could sense you sound like this man is a god, in quotes. No, because it seems that's what caused the conflict with Atiku. They said, well, let him go and let him do whatever he wants to do. He was a vice president and he feels he has the power.
So the truth is that why are those investing in the party?
Is it about investment now?
It's part of it. Okay, just like a father. I mean, you have someone sponsoring your education. Of course, you have your biological father. But if you have someone that is paying your bills, that is sponsoring your education, that is sending you for your master's, for your PhD, that is buying you a vehicle, that is taking responsibilities of how a father should be responsible. If there are two calls from both your biological father and your so-called godfather or whosoever, who would you attend to first? It is whosoever is showing that responsibility that you attend to. So who is your government? If I'm paying my own bills, if I'm paying for my security, if I'm paying for my water, if I'm paying for the education of my children, who is the God of the family? I am the God of the family.
All right, let me come to Mr. Itino. Mr. Itino, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
The way it is right now, I'm sure you heard Mr. Agayame right here. It seems to be
I agree with a lot of things he's saying. Unfortunately, I agree with a lot of things he's saying because that is the only way that it makes sense.
So if
you cannot,
if a weekend now comes to ADC, you are the former chairman.
From this thing.
You are the former chairman of ADC. If a weekend in Ogun State, if a weekend now comes to ADC and all this drama is happening, you will fold your hand and say, well, because it has the money.
Okay. Let me use what happened in ADC Ogun State before I came into power.
Okay.
What happened was Amosun came with his people, and as soon as they left, as soon as the election was done and B. Otegbere did not win his election, everybody went away and they went back to the ruling party. So when I came on board, I met a shell. And then I started asking, I said, okay, everybody who is ADC, what happened? They said, oh, GNI was ADC, but he has gone and he has collected House of Reps. So all of that structure in the Ogun West side has disappeared. I said, okay, what about the Ogun Central structure? They said, oh, Amosun came and Amosun has gone back. And so there is nobody left in the party. And at that point in time, you start to say, okay, who are the people who are left? And then you see a few politicians here and there. But the bottom line is every single person who is there is waiting for the next person who will fund the party. Because unfortunately, and I'm going to put this at the doorstep of PDP, during the 1998-1999 era of politics, where party members used to contribute for the party, it is PDP, Obasanjo's PDP, that took that power away from membership drive to having state apparatus run it. And unfortunately, and I'm putting that at the table of PDP, introduced a demand that no person with normal working money can satisfy. I'll give you something. If I'm to run a major meeting across all my 20 local governments and my 236 wards, if I were to call for five delegates per ward, that is over 10,000 people. Now, how do I fund the transportation and the logistics and the feeding of that from personal pockets? Sponsor, and they just tell him, oh, okay, we need to do this and that, and that is done. So unfortunately, they have opened the taste buds of the average Nigerian politician to insatiable levels that unless you are in government or unless you have a key in how to make the money, big money, there is no way you can run a political party successfully, which is leading to the crisis you are seeing across multiple other political parties, because the pool that which you are getting money from is so small that everybody is scrambling to get a piece of the action.
All right.
I hope you understand.
Yes, I understand you right now. But let me come to you also, Mr. Ogayemi. Can PDP actually regain its strength?
Definitely. There is no doubt about that. Definitely.
You think so?
Definitely.
Is that 2027 or 20?
I mean, we've done it in a lot of states. I mean, and that's the perception our leaders must begin to, look towards.
With this disunity.
Yes. But first, we need to come together. We need to have an understanding. Are we really serious about coming back into the system? Are we really serious about winning the 2027 election? If you are serious about that, then who are we looking up to in terms of, unity? Who are we looking towards to in terms of reconciliation? Who are we looking towards to in terms of mobilizing people and all of that? Those are the factors. Just like my uncle said, the political system in Nigeria has been bastardized by money. And he's saying it from his wealth of experience, because things like that are also happening in Ogun State. But on the larger picture, what are we looking at if we want to win the 2027 election? The first thing is reconciliation, genuine reconciliation.
With Wike?
Not only with Wike, with a lot of people. Because now, if you say with Wike, yes, Wike is one of the major financiers in PDP. Take it or leave it. And he has been doing that over the years, relentlessly.
And no other governor can finance.
Maybe not as much as Wike is doing.
We have about 6 governors in PDP.
So that is where, those are some of the issues people like us are having that are committed, in the PDP. Why would you have about 11 governors that cannot come together and probably challenge the monetary, strength of people like Yinson Wike? There's a way the Yorubas say it.
Does that tell us that there is a kind of selfish...
It talks about personality. Someone can have 10,000 naira and is willing to do away with 4,000, 5,000 naira. Another person can have 100,000 that is not ready to give you 5,000 naira. That is the way we have to look at it. Because this same Wike, when he was a governor, he was single-handedly, funding a lot of the activities of the PDP. Were there no other governors? We had other governors too, but were they doing as much as Wike was doing? No. Whether Rivers State has oil or does not have oil, it doesn't matter. There are other ways other governors are also seeing money. They are getting their, IGR and all of that. Are they investing it in the party? Those are the questions. And if they are investing in the party, a typical example, if my uncle will agree with you, is what happened in Ogun State in the 2015 to 2019 era. What happened? Brigi Kashamo of blessed memory came into the system, destabilized the system.
Very, very destabilized.
With a lot of money.
Yeah.
With a lot of dollars. A ward chairman or a local government chairman, he was giving them vehicles.
We saw it everywhere.
Now, what happened? How was someone able to challenge that status quo? The likes of Ladi Adebutu. What happened? Ladi Adebutu came with the same monetary, chest, with the support of his father. Came with that same monetary chest, challenged the Buruji camp. And we have the result in Ogun State. Ladi Adebutu is in control of the structure. So if you are looking towards the same direction, okay, we want to fight Wike. What are we coming to fight Wike? Are you coming? Wike is with a sword, double sword. What are you coming with? You are coming with sticks. You are coming with knife. It's not going to work. That's the starting point, because take it or leave it. If we are going to be sincere with ourselves, the political system in Nigeria has been bastardized with money. So that has to be the first talking point. Else, whatever we are doing, we are guiding ourselves. Okay, let's see. You want to suspend, you want to expel, you want to remove this, you want to remove this. After everybody leaves that table, that is all. Okay, you can take, for instance, the meeting that PDP did, the governors forum meeting. Yeah. If 11 of you have agreed that there is no coalition, which I believe for now there should be no coalition. If PDP is going into coalition, PDP should lead that coalition. Because PDP, as far as I'm concerned, is the strongest opposition party in Nigeria. PDP, you can find PDP in all the world. In all the worlds, there's no other party. You will find PDP in every single word in this country.
With the wave of SDP and Labour Party,
you cannot compare it to PDP. Definitely, it is. PDP is still let them. How many governors do they have to start with? How many House of Reps do they have?
Mr. Itunu, do you agree with that?
To a large extent, when we're talking about nationally, yes, you can't debate it. It's just common sense. Look at the number of House of Senators and House of Rep members that they have. You can't debate it. However, all politics is local. And I feel that in 2027, you are going to see a lot of splinter groups fighting for their own self-interest. And you see a lot of so-called smaller parties gaining ground in their state constituencies or their federal constituencies. Because, again, to agree with his point, there is no one person who is funding anything. If PDP had their house in order, it would make sense. But unfortunately, PDP does not have their house in order. And I don't, as much as I want to see SDP and Labour succeed, I don't know if they have that financial war chest to challenge across all fronts. You must remember that there are 774 local governments with each of its own ward and polling units. So to be able to fight across all that terrain successfully is not beans money. You are looking at APC that has Lagos money, has a substantial part of Rivers money, and has federal money. Let's not joke with what they have. That is in APC. Then, and of course, they have Ogun State money also, which is another key place. PDP has Delta money, has Akwa Ibom money, but somehow, you are hearing them talk about we are supporting this current administration. So again, money for money, PDP is not looking like the PDP of when Wike was there, and you could say the entire South money was PDP money with Atiku backing. Unfortunately, that is not currently the situation. So even at this point in time, PDP on paper looks very, very solid. If only they can put their house in order. But you and I know that politics is not played on paper. Politics is played on the day at the field. But I am hopeful that August this year, things will start to make sense. Why? Because anyhow we slice it, PDP has to conclude their
convention.
Their NEC convention. They have to do it this August. And APC as a party also has to do their own before February of next year. I'm assuming they will start this August also. So that so we would know who owns what in which party. And then we would know if there's falling out of, because you cannot put your money in an uncertain place. The big monies go to stable large parties. The small monies go to unstable large parties or stable small parties. That is how it goes. So hopefully by August this year, things will settle in, because by February next year, sale of forms will take place for primaries. By February next year, if you are not in control of the structure in August this year, you are wasting your time in February next year. But February next year,
there are still deliberations about who will lead the table in INEC. So maybe when the new chairman comes up, we understand that this current INEC chairman will be moving out soon. Maybe when new chairman comes up, we're able to draw a better calendar for elections.
I really don't think that they're going to. The Electoral Act is very clear. I don't think they're going to make drastic changes to the timetable. I think that is done because you need 6 months between the close of primaries, which is campaign, and the election. So that is August to February. And you need 6 months for the entire process of primaries, which is again February to August. So it's kind of almost set in stone already. Barring again, and then if INEC decides to change the whole thing, it changes the whole political landscape, it changes everything, and it creates uncertainty across even both the ruling and opposition parties. But if they keep it as it is, what you're going to be looking at is whoever controls the structure in August will end up determining who becomes what, which again is scary because I'm looking at, again, the governors of Akwa Ibom and governors of Delta who have openly come out publicly to say that, you know, Tinubu is getting their support. And I'm like, who is going to submit your form for your own primaries because you are still in PDP? Who is going to submit your form for your primaries when you conclude it? Because so far so good, it is the national office of the chairman and secretary through the office of the national secretary that submits candidates form at INEC in Abuja. And I know this because I did primaries for people. Sure you get. So I'm asking who's going to monitor your election, your primaries, and who is going to submit that form? Even if they don't monitor it from Abuja, who is going to submit that form for you in INEC? So these are areas that I want my uncle over in the studio to let us look at, and the timetable and the timeline, and see if there is anything that should interest Nigerians going forward.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I ask these questions, how it is. Nigerians, 2027 will come, and then politicians will come and bring, as usual, the rise, the 1,000, 2,000 naira, and drive Nigerians to a place where sometimes we don't even wish to, but we'll keep talking so that things will get better. But before we go into other conversation, let's quickly listen to the voice of the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Yes, he has said some people go behind at night to meet the president that, well, I am with you, sir. But he is taking the lead, the bold step. He's taking the chance to say it publicly. Let's hear from the governor. Don't forget, yes, keep your message coming in right here. Send your message via WhatsApp on the 0705 690 0927. 0705 690 0927. That's for WhatsApp. You can call us on the 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711. You can order lines on the 0705 6900 927. 0705 6900 927. Let's listen to Umo Eno.
I don't know how to speak from two sides of the mouth. The other day I said I was going to support Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. People say, why do I say so? In the night, they go there and go and tell the Baba who will support you. In the afternoon, they do another thing. Me, I'm supporting Baba Bola Tinubu for second term. When the time comes, I will tell you the reason. The time has not come yet. When I tell you the reason, you will know. But let me keep it first. There's no point lying to yourself. I will tell you the reason when the time comes. And you will see with me why we should support him so that he can complete what he has started. You will
All right, let's go to the phone lines before I come to our guest this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Okwi from Barracks.
Your name is what?
Okwi
from Barracks. Okay, from a job Barracks. So please make your comment.
Good morning. I did the guest over there. I've been listening to all their comments and everything. But I'm so much disappointed from what what I'm hearing from them this morning, because it seems that it's only the party they are concerned of. And it's a very shameful thing for Nigeria. All they have been discussing here, the masses, the people itself has not been. There's no place for us as the people. And it's very, very disappointed that from what they are saying, like Wike being the superpower of PDP, without him, party cannot go on. That shows that the masses, they are not concerned over the masses. All they think is the party. And it has shown that through this way, Nigeria is not moving forward. Because it seems that Nigeria has been contracted to a certain individual. And without them, nothing goes good in Nigeria. So it's a very shameful thing. I wish there would be a time our constitution will give us, the masses, the right to choose who will even come out to be the president of our country, not through the parties. Because with what I've been hearing this morning, it shows that whoever emerged as presidential candidate of this nation is being determined by the few, and it's very, very unfair. I'm not happy this morning from what I'm hearing from those two gentlemen over there. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You want to make a comment there, Mr. Ogayemi?
Nigeria, with Nigerians, we like to live in, how would the Gen Z say it now, in delilu, or
Delusion.
You see, when you live in denial, it baffles me. We find ourselves in a situation. What are the constitutional provisions for us? You have to go on a platform of a political party. With no disrespect to the caller that has called. There is no room for independent candidacy for now. So those are the issues. And me, for one, I'm an advocate of people joining political party. I have the platform Youth Movement for Better Ogun State. I have the Ogun Wars Next platform. I also have the Nigerian Wars Next platform. These are platforms that have been calling for inclusion of young people and professionals into politics. Because take it or leave it, politics is about numbers. Maybe they are good numbers or they are bad numbers. The system does not care. What the system cares about is majority of the numbers. Whether you've gotten your numbers through any means, it doesn't care. Just get the numbers. That's what the system cares about. So how should Nigerians start to reason? We should start reasoning along the line of we getting our numbers right. If there's any political party you want to join, go and join that political party. Infiltrate that political party. Make sure the number of reasonable people in that political party is more than the number of unreasonable people in that political party. You get your numbers. You push a candidate forward. That is how the system works.
Is that the work of the people or the work of the
It is the work of the people. It is the work of gentlemen like the man that has just called in. If you happen to ask him now that side, do you belong to any political party? He will tell you politics is not his business. But politics should be the business of everybody that is above the age of 18. Every voter, politics should be your business. Because whether you like it or not, it is these politicians that are going to win the primaries that are going to be presented for the majority of the masses to vote for or against.
Some will say they don't want to die. That politics in Nigeria is now.
It is not true. It is. I just said it. It is because the number of bad people, the number of evil people, the number of unreasonable people, the number of people that are not ready to commit themselves to the cause of a better Nigeria, they are more than the number of people that are ready to commit themselves to the cause of a better Nigeria in the political systems. And those are the issues we are having. Any average American that you see now, is either they are along the Republican line or they are along the Democratic line. And they are all politically oriented.
But elections, they are technical. Yeah, it seems to be like fights.
I just said something. We should not be in a state whereby we are becoming delusional. We have to face the reality. What is the reality facing us? It is that we must join political system. That is the only way out. Anything outside that one, we are just deceiving ourselves. You find out that they present candidates that they don't even know they are left to the right. You present candidates that they sit in their bedroom and say, okay, this is going to be the next House of Rep candidate. This is going to be the next senatorial candidate.
Well, we saw it on national TV.
We are seeing it everywhere. Everywhere, even as far as governors and all of that, we are seeing it. And that is because young people that are reasonable, they are not in those systems. When I decided to go into politics, I mean, I discovered that by the time you get to ward meetings, you'll be surprised the set of people that are there. By the time you see your ward chairman, you see your ward secretary, you see your ward youth leader, you'll be surprised and you'll be like, are these the people controlling the structure? But unfortunately, those are the people that are controlling the structure. So this is another opportunity to call on Nigerians that we must join this. And it is when a large number of reasonable people are in the system, that is the only way we can begin to defeat the politics of money in our political system in Nigeria.
All right, so let me come to Mr. Ituno. You had Mr. Ogayemi right there talking about people bringing hands together to make sure that they partake in politics. But you can, if you can understand that Nigerians now, especially the youth, will tell you, well, I don't want to die. Joining politics right now is like, you're putting your life in danger. I don't know if you want to agree with that or you want to oppose.
Can I say something? Can I say something real quick? First and foremost, I have to agree with every single thing the uncle in the studio has said, and I'm going to look at the gentleman that just spoke, and I'm going to the man who called in. I'm going to say, sir, in Ogun State, for example, you have over 2 million people who registered for PVC. Okay. There are 19 political parties. 16 are actually structured in Ogun State. Okay. Now, of that 2 million people, the winner of the election, who is my current governor, won his election with less than 300,000 votes. Now, 2 million people registered for PVC. Over 1.6 million people got that PVC in their hand. Only 300,000 people, in fact, not even 300,000 people, less than 300,000 people came out and voted for Governor Akwa Ibom, saying that they believe in him. Now, is it my fault or his fault or their fault that over 1 million people sat at home and were watching TV? I don't know. Sometimes it riles me when I see Nigerians who should know better and say things and I start asking myself, but who did we offend? You cannot be an independent candidate. No, you have to go through a political party. That is how the constitution of Nigeria is currently run. Now, as a normal human being, in your community, in your estate, in your gated environment, there is a polling booth there. There is a ward there. How many of you, so-called educated people, decide to form and take over the structure of a particular party? Whether it is ADC, ZLP, YPP, or even YP. But what you see is, instead of them to check their PVC and go out and know who they even want to vote for, I can challenge you that apart from Atiku and Tinubu and maybe Peter Obi, I challenge any caller coming in to mention 5 names of presidential candidates who contested in the last election. And you will see where the problem really lies. Nigerians don't know, and they don't want to know. And then they come around and blame the people who took their time to know, even if they did it, even if they chose a candidate that is not best for everybody, but is best for them. The 6 million people that voted for Baba Tinubu to become president of, 8 million people that voted for Tinubu to become president of Nigeria, they voted because they wanted him as president. The 6 million people that voted for Peter Obi, they came on the bandwagon of NSAS and so many other youth agitations to push that agenda forward. The PDP, like this, my uncle in the studio, after the whole shenanigans of the primaries, decided to, you know what, Ishebi is our party. Let's do support our guy. The remaining 80 million Nigerians got PVC. We've talked of 668. The remaining, what were they doing?
But as it is right now,
I don't know. I'm 36 years old. And I feel that if you are between the age of 20, you only have 8 presidents in your life from the day you are born to the day you are 60. every president is two terms. That's 8 years. So 8 times 6. I'm sorry, 8 times 8. That's just it. So by the time you are 64, 65, you're already retired. You're already useless. So you only have 8 presidents. So if you were born in 1998 and Obasanjo was your first president, Tinubu is your 4th, which means you only have 4 more presidents left before you become retired. So at this point in time, people like that uncle that made what he said should actually sit down and ask themselves, how old am I? How many presidents do I have left before I turn 65? And then start to come up with reasonable ways to join political parties or be politically inclined to know who they are voting for and to influence who becomes what as the system goes. I've already told him the timeline. August this year, all political parties are going to open their doors to new members. All political parties are going to restructure their house. This is the time for where the uncle and the likes of that uncle will come up and actively know where their party, a party that they want, and the kind of candidate that they want, and support him. And hopefully by February, the person will win his primaries. And then by February next year, the upper year, the person would emerge and give them the kind of direction that he's looking for in this country. Because it needs a hands-on approach.
Okay, thank you very much for your analysis right there, all of this conversation. But quickly before we go, because of our time right now, let me come to Mr. Ogayemi right here in the studio. Some PDP governors now are rumored to be defecting to APC. Is that going to be any worry for the PDP?
Definitely. You cannot have, it's just like a football team or a basketball team. You have your warlords, changing alliances as the case may be. Definitely you'll be worried.
We have 12 PDP states.
11.
11 now, okay. And imagine if like 4 is moving to the
ruling party,
the APC.
Of course, it's something to be worried about. But on another note, people like me would think about it and say, okay, what really is the impact or are the impacts of these governors that are leaving? Those are the first question, and it beats me that we don't.
Are you aware that even the River State governor,
there are rumors. There are rumors already.
He's moving to
there are rumors.
The APC.
There are rumors already.
Delta
Rivers,
State,
Delta, Akwa Ibom.
These are strong states.
What's that other one? There's one.
These are strong states.
Yes, but it still comes to the play at which these governors or the narration at which they are pushing the opposition party. And to an extent, yesterday while I was just we are beginning to miss the likes of Governor Fayose, the likes of former Governor Wike, and the likes of people like former Governor Gbenga Daniel. These were governors that when they were in opposition, they were vibrant. They understood the assignment of being an opposition. They took the pains of Nigerians as theirs. They were not just there for their own personal. You find governors easily coming out and saying, 2 years to a general election, they're coming out and saying you are supporting this, you are supporting that. You are looking beyond party lines. You're not giving Nigerians that spirit of even.
Hello. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. You have just 50 seconds. Please, what's your name?
Ken from Iba.
All right, Ken from Iba. Please, 50 seconds.
Ken.
Ben, please go ahead.
You see, Nigerians came out 2023 a month to vote. But what happened was that after so many places, either they destroyed the